Every ad that plays on a YouTube video, that person's getting paid like 10 times less than if that ad played on TV. Why are my eyeballs worth 10 times more when I'm watching TV than when I'm watching YouTube? They're the same eyeballs.
It seems that by covering the real raw news story and not like watering it down, I got in trouble. By taking away monetization, it is a form of censorship.
All the people with like the deep pockets that Google is like afraid to mess with. YouTube is not making it easy for creators to make money.
I don't see your videos in my sub box anymore. That makes me really want to get out there and create videos.
YouTube has been doing a lot of experiments with my channel. I don't know if viewers are gonna think about this video because the comment section may not be active on this video. It may be disabled.
Here I am, me and 49 other creators with $1.7 million of our money stolen from us. Big business does shady business dealing, and it's the little guy who's left holding the bag.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of that Cybert channel. I'm Dan Cybert, and for one video, I would like to set aside what I normally do here on this channel. I want to talk to you not as a creator. I want to talk to you as someone who works for a creator, someone that spends most of their time working on projects for other channels. Now, if you've been watching YouTube for the last 2 to 3 years, you've probably heard a lot about the algorithm, the adpocalypse, and demonetization. You've probably heard a lot about how that affects the creator's livelihood. But what you don't hear is how that affects the people that are writing, shooting, editing, or managing for those channels. Today, I want to talk about the men and women working their butts off to bring you weekly or even daily videos that you get to watch at the cost of only a short ad. Or I guess 2 short ads, because that's YouTube's new MO. Cool. So before we get started, let me run you through a bit of my history on the platform. Consider this me submitting my resume to you. This is me wanting to show you that I'm qualified to talk about this. And as a disclaimer, if you're watching this video in hopes for some juicy gossip on anyone I've worked for, you're not gonna find it here. Not on this channel. I really enjoy my job and I don't intend on losing it. I started uploading to YouTube all the way back in 2006. I mean, they were bad videos, but yeah, I was uploading back before the platform was even sold to Google. I really should have kept it up. But it wouldn't be until 2012 when I moved to LA that I would actually enter into the YouTube industry as a formal employee. A buddy of mine told me that a YouTube channel was looking for editors. I was jobless since I just moved and jumped immediately at it. That channel was the Fine Brothers. From 2012 to 2017, I was one of the main editors of the React series. January of 2017, I left FBE and joined a channel called TGN Squadron as a streamer and editor. RIP Squadron. It wasn't too long after that, in April of 2017, I joined Matt Pat's team over at Theorist Inc. Since then, I've been editing for Game Theory for nearly 3 years now, and I love it. It's probably one of the best gigs I've ever had. Sure, it's stressful, but I've grown so much as an editor in skill and creativity. Over the years, I've edited hundreds of videos that have been seen by hundreds of millions of people. No joke, FBE's most viewed video with 51 million views, that was my editing. And over the course of my career on YouTube, I've been nominated for 4 Streamies and won twice. 1 for React and 1 for Game Theory. Got it right here, misspelled name and all. Still waiting on the fixed Streamies. Now I know this section may make me seem like I'm full of myself, but I tell you all this because I want you to understand that I'm not just some random disgruntled employee. I'm someone that's been around this industry for a long time and understands the issues surrounding this new media thing. Honestly, when I uploaded my first video back in college, I never thought for a second that this would be my career. And in the beginning of this wild ride, it looked so bright. The future was so bright, full of opportunity. A different route into the entertainment industry that didn't involve searching out a bunch of small films in hopes that you land a big one. Hell, at the time, it seemed like you can make your career fully here on YouTube. Now here in 2019, it feels like the platform is stalling everyone out. It feels like the platform doesn't care that most big creators have teams of employees trying to make a living here too. People with legitimate jobs trying to make good stuff and advance themselves to a more comfortable life, as is the same of every employee in any other industry. Forgetting that every small tweak to the algorithm can have major repercussions to the creator and their employees. So let's get started with everyone's favorite buzzword. Oh So the algorithm. I'm sure you're all sick of hearing about this obscure topic, but this is a constant struggle for creators and their teams. But I'm getting ahead of myself, let's start with the basics. For you that don't know how YouTube serves up videos, your suggested feed is created by the algorithm. Essentially a discount AI that looks at what you've watched and tries to serve you up the best content for you. It's mostly there to serve you, the audience, but for us on the creator side, we're constantly at war with this thing. The algorithm can randomly change without notice and leave us guessing on how to work with it. Here's a fun experiment. Think of someone you're subscribed to that you enjoy. Did you see their most recent upload on your front page? Well, if you watch the channel a lot, you most likely did. But chances are, someone you're subscribed to uploaded and you didn't even notice. This is a fundamental problem with the algorithm as of right now in 2019. In the early days of the algorithm, success of a channel was dependent on views. More views, the better ads you got. Look back at old videos pre-2012 and you'll see most don't break 10 minutes. At this point in time, it was all about getting someone to digest quick content and move on. This allowed for higher quality animations and visual effects that were around 3 to 5 minutes. However, the system was flawed for two reasons. One, people were using sites that would refresh the video, gaining tens of thousands of views in hours. And two, people would come, watch a few things on YouTube, and then leave. No one was staying on YouTube as a platform, so a change was made. In 2012, the YouTube algorithm started favoring watch time to prevent fake views and promote videos that kept people on the site longer. This had a major impact on what trended on the site. Suddenly, the algorithm was favoring videos over 10 minutes and frequent uploads. If your channel keeps putting eyeballs on the site for longer amounts of time, you'd benefit. And thus began the rise of the Let's Players and daily vloggers. Channels that would turn around a whole video in about a day. Some even posting 2 to 3 times a day like the Game Grumps. MattPat does a great job talking about this and how Minecraft broke YouTube. So if you want to know more, definitely check that out. He's much better at talking about it than I am. You'll also see a less refined Dan animate the last part of that video. God, my animation was stiff back then. Thing is, content that took more than a day to make had a rougher time getting seen by viewers. Of course, that's when I entered the picture. And of course, I would start working on one of the shows that would require a lot of time to put together, React. Now I can already hear you saying, come on, Dan, React can't be that hard to edit. It's just people sitting in front of a computer and talking. Well then, here, go through these 3 hours of raw reaction for the best sound bites, make a rough cut down that rough cut to a specific time, sit down with a producer for 3 to 5 hours, audio mix everything, color correct, and add graphics, do another round of notes, and that's just post-production editing side of it. Not so easy, is it? Sorry for yelling at you. Thanks for watching. But that's kind of my point though. A lot of the shows you see on YouTube take a lot of time to go from concept to upload. Just to give you some insight into the general process for a channel with a team, from my own experience, the general workflow goes somewhat like this. Creators and producers come up with video topics. Writers then get to writing the episode, whether it be a full script or talking points. That script is then rewritten to make sure it fits the creator's vision. The episode is then shot or recorded as soon as the creator or talent can find any free time. The footage is then handed over to the editing team if the channel is lucky enough to have a team. Chances are it's one person in a dark room. Then insert my React editing rant from earlier. The video is then uploaded while thumbnails, tags, and SEO or search engine optimization are gathered together for the upload. Then finally, the video goes live, but we're not done. Social media team goes to work doing stories and tweets to make sure people see the video, and if the video's having trouble, the thumbnail might be remade, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. This process can take anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks or longer, given you didn't run into any problems. Not to mention, one person might actually take on multiple roles in the process. It really all depends on the type of video you're making and the creator. A game theory video does take significantly longer than a React video, that much I can guarantee. But getting back to the problem at hand, the YouTube algorithm doesn't care how long a video takes to be made. It needs to see videos uploaded. The algorithm was vicious when it first started favoring this. Now, as long as you're consistent, you can make it work. Something this channel has trouble with now that you see everything I have to do for my channel and my day job. Even though it has calmed down, the damage has already been done. Watch time set a heavy precedent for creators and their staff alike. Overtime. In order to keep up with the demand of the algorithm, creators and their teams have 2 options. Hire more staff, which is expensive, or have their employees work longer hours. Guess how that went? And guess who experienced that firsthand? It was me. Most of my career has been spent working 45 plus hours every week. To be fair, there was a time where we did get to a normal 40 hours a week, but I threw that out the window and went freelance. I make great life decisions. One of my biggest pet peeves as a creator is when someone says, it's your own thing. You can get it done when you get it done. You don't have to set deadlines. Yes, I do. Or that mean looking bot over there is gonna take my money and bust my kneecaps, mom. And yet, this is felt throughout the entire company. You have to hit deadlines for the best success in our field. If you want to get raises or chances for bigger projects, we have to help the company hit trending topics and fast. It only becomes worse when you have a lot of insanely talented people trying to make something of quality. I've worked with a ton of great people at FBE and Team Theorists that put a lot of effort into every video they work on. People that want to make the best possible work because they care what their name is attached to. Whether that content was loved or hated by the internet, we still put our best foot forward. But most of the time, we had to get videos out so fast that you had to sacrifice quality. Let mistakes slip by because you don't have time to fix them or double check them. To do something that's all right because you don't have time to make it amazing. But still, the quality of our work is what determines our worth as creatives. So we bust our asses even harder to make sure we're proud to say we made that. And what happens then? Burnout. Yeah, the epidemic every YouTuber has been talking about for the last year has been plaguing YouTube channel employees for years. If you thought creative burnout was bad, imagine having a company of 30 people burn out simultaneously. It's rough. Funny thing is, 10 to 16 hour days are not unique to the entertainment industry. Ask anyone that has worked on a set or in an edit bay and they'll tell you this isn't new information. But there is a distinct imbalance between the YouTube business and the movie business. There's something here we all need to agree on. YouTube is not part of the entertainment industry that you may know, or at least it's not treated in the same way. That stems a lot from the general attitude about new media versus old media. But that doesn't mean YouTube doesn't want to be part of that industry. It's why YouTube Red exists and why a lot of YouTubers have taken a stab at making a movie or a TV show. Hell, during my time at the Fines, I think we had 3 full shows. 1 season each, but they were TV shows and they aired. But at a crew level perspective, those that make weekly videos are treated vastly different from our traditional media counterparts. How differently? Well, add a 0 to my yearly income and that's what an editor at my skill level with my portfolio is roughly making. Before we dive into that though, it's important to understand that our workflows share a lot of fundamental similarities. A writer still has to write, a producer needs to take the project and put together a team, a casting crew needs to shoot it, editors still sit in a dark cave piecing the project together, a marketing team comes up with a strategy to get the project out to the most people, then premiere time. That is my disgustingly simple breakdown of the entertainment industry that might as well be the children's book equivalent of the real process. A lot more people work on these projects, and there are a lot more smaller tasks to handle in each step, but there are a lot of similarities. Hell, the steps are pretty much the same. This is mainly because YouTube productions are micro-budget versions of these major productions. That's all really what YouTube ends up being. Micro-machine versions of the TV and movie industry, again, with some exceptions. It's another reason that long hours are to be expected in YouTube. The production model is based on those long hours. Big budget crews can rarely get away with 8 hours a day, but most of the time it could shoot up to 10 to 16 hour days easy. But there is one major difference between the industries. Most major productions, I say most because there are always exceptions, whether it be the job you work or the production itself, most major productions pay well enough that cast and crew can take significant time off. Editors in the top of their field make enough to take months off if the production is big enough. They have time to recuperate and get their creative mojo back. Top editors in the YouTube business? We get weekends and we hope that's enough. Most staff can't even take vacations because it would ruin the flow and hurt the company. They would fall behind and get hurt in the algorithm. That, or I can't take enough freelance to make sure I can survive. Now, before you all bombard MatPat with messages yelling at him about underpaying his employees, I want you to know that he's not the one to blame here. Given our current model and how the system treats the Theorist channel, we're not pulling in the numbers of another channel with the same subscriber count, but with multiple uploads a week. So we're getting paid what we can get paid without putting the company in the red. It's hard to make money when the system that's supposed to help you make money does the opposite. Cast and crew members on big budget productions have unions that fight tooth and nail for them. Union rates are incredible. And unions also provide things like health insurance and other major services. The budget of the project and the union determine a crew member's paycheck. A YouTuber's paycheck is determined by lines of code that is constantly changing without warning. And for the company, that paycheck is the budget to keep the company rolling. Creators with teams have to pay a dozen or so employees, office rent, utilities for that office, production costs, equipment rental or purchase, overhead costs, and a lot more things I don't even know about. When you get to the level where you can change your channel from a solo project to a business, costs go up. However, that doesn't mean revenue goes up. That still heavily depends on the algorithm. It still depends on this ambiguous machine that demands you pump out hit after hit, week after week, day after day, and that moment you start to fall off the rhythm, the whole thing can fall apart, leaving people without jobs. I remember talking to Rafi Fine about the Facebook algorithm. When Facebook was pushing video content hard a couple years ago, production companies started popping up with millions of dollars in investments. A fully staffed team all ready to start making fresh, new content for the platform. Then Facebook changed one small thing in their algorithm, and within months, those companies shut down. Hundreds of people losing their jobs overnight because of a line of code. Now, do I know the exact cost of running a big channel? No. I don't run a YouTube business, I run my own small solo channel. But if you've ever worked in a company before, you can tell when things aren't going great. Deadlines get tighter, promises of advancement stall out, equipment you need to do your job isn't showing up. These are all signs. And whenever the algorithm shifts, these symptoms show up again and again and again. In big budget productions, how well a project performs has a lot to do with the marketing team. You have a higher chance of making your money back on a bad movie if your marketing team does their job well. Well, our marketing team is mostly run by a giant coded idol demanding a sacrifice. It doesn't tell us what that sacrifice is, and when we inevitably put the wrong thing up there, we get... Oh, my second favorite thing to make fun of on this channel. Because if I'm going to be censored by threatening of my paycheck, might as well make fun of the damn thing. Sometime in 2016, the algorithm was changed once again to prevent advertisers from being attached to offensive content. Videos deemed offensive or not advertiser friendly would receive lower paying ads and would be less likely to be served to viewers who might want to watch. Basically, if you weren't careful on what you said, your payout could be cut in half. Let's rewind a bit so you can understand how impactful this was. From 2012 to 2015, I don't think there was ever a point where I feared for my job. If anything, it looked like a huge opportunity to grow and be a part of a brand new industry that was only getting bigger. In 2016 though, that changed. At FBE, we were no stranger to copyright claims. Even though React does technically fall under fair use, that didn't stop the claims from happening, and thus us losing some revenue. Still, this never truly affected my job security, but when that yellow dollar sign began to appear on every other video, it was felt industry-wide. You'd be hard-pressed to find a channel that wasn't impacted by it. Channels like H3H3 and Philip DeFranco were especially vocal, and for a good reason. The entire DeFranco company was hit especially hard due to news-like content getting utterly destroyed by the algorithm. Had DeFranco not been smart enough to find other revenue streams, who knows if his company would still exist? All because of one single change to the algorithm. But you can't talk about demonetization without talking about the Adpocalypse. This is perhaps the most frustrating and devastating thing to happen to the platform, from a creator standpoint, from a PR standpoint, and from an employee standpoint. For those wondering what the Adpocalypse was, it was a point in time where advertisers all started to pull their ads from YouTube. This was due to certain channels and creators uploading distasteful videos, to put it lightly. In reality, there were many lines crossed. There's plenty of videos covering this if you want to know more. But it was during this time that everyone's revenue across the entire platform crumbled. And the worst part is, we may be seeing this second Adpocalypse. Again, due to channels and users crossing a line that YouTube is doing its best to stop. The actions of few threatening our entire industry's livelihood. I think we can all agree that no one should fear for their job from aspects out of their control. But because of some unfortunate videos, we saw some of our biggest advertisers on the site up and leave, taking away the money that helps pay the bills for hundreds of crew members that work hard to provide entertainment enjoyed by millions. Revenue across the board was cut in half, and small channels on the brink of making it big were especially hit. Us at the bigger channels felt it too. Again, videos were trying to be made faster, help that we need to hire couldn't be, and one of the biggest questions on our mind was, are we going to lose our jobs? Imagine that. Because of what someone did that has little to nothing to do with you, your job is now on the line. It would be like working at Microsoft, and because someone at Bed Bath & Beyond did something stupid, you almost lose your job at Microsoft. Let me clear one thing up. I'm talking a lot of crap right now about YouTube, but I do this because I love this industry. It's so creatively freeing and it has inspired me so much. But eventually you get sick of being undervalued by the platform and advertisers. Considering how many people are watching on this platform a day, we should be constantly thriving. This is a great place for advertising, but we're constantly being undersold by everyone, treated like amateurs, despite having a full decade of experience building this platform up as a place of entertainment, building a place that should raise up quality creators, but instead, creators are constantly undersold and taken advantage of. Which brings me to what sparked this whole video, Defy Media. If you haven't been on YouTube for the last 3 months, 1, welcome back to the shit show. 2, a multi-channel network, or MCN for short, recently shut down, Defy Media. In the process of them shutting down, nearly $1.7 million was stolen from creators. This is no exaggeration. Literal millions of dollars were taken from creators Defy represented and is now trapped in liquidation hell. So you guys understand. MCNs are supposed to be like a channel's management team in the simplest and most generic of terms, trying to get you brand deals, access to certain services, and better ads. Some are really good. I am very happy with my current MCN. Some are really bad, as you're about to see. When you have an MCN, YouTube payout works like this. Advertisers pay YouTube for ad slots. Then based off of what ads play on a creator's video, YouTube sends the AdSense to their MCN. The MCN then takes their cut for their services and passes the payment on to the creator. The money that goes into the MCN is not the MCN's profit. The money that goes into the MCN is the creator's money and is supposed to be handed over after the MCN takes their specific amount. Defy just didn't do the handing off step, but instead asked to hold on to the funds for a bit so it could inflate its numbers. Then it shut down, leaving creators without a paycheck for September 2018. Again, MatPat covers this very well in his video, They Stole $1.7 million. It covers it very well if you want to know more about what happened, and I highly encourage you to check it out because what happened is disgusting. You've probably heard from a lot of creators about this, about how they as creators got really screwed over. But it's not just them, it's the entire team. In the end, Defy stole from me too. They stole from my coworkers. They stole a potential new project we could be working on. They stole our time, and now we have to play a month of catch up. They forced myself and my coworkers to work longer hours. They stole a chance for me to get a raise. They stole my f***ing paycheck. Now I can tell you right now, thank God for MatPat's integrity. I knew we were affected by Defy, but he made sure we still were making our normal pay. Even though this company lost a lot of money from this that we may not get back. But the fact remains that way too many factors go into one of my paychecks. Views, brands, shitty MCN practices, algorithms, channels that upload videos of suicide victims, and demonetization. It's too many people touching my livelihood. Too many factors I can't control. And all I can do is work my ass off and hope that maybe this next video goes viral. So what now? We're overworked, we're underpaid, we're burnt right the F out. We all are, creators and employees. We're tired. And the worst part of it all, there's no simple solution. There's no magic fix or tweak this number or adjust this thing. Just like life, the answer is some muddy, gray area we need to find as a community. There is an internet creator guild created by Hank Green. They're fighting on behalf of creators on a lot of fronts. So if you want to help out, check out the link in the description to head to their site. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know where I go from here. I love working with Matt and Team Theorists and will work there as long as I can. I just genuinely like the work, even if it can keep me up to the wee hours of the morning. But I definitely worry that it can't be a long-term thing. I am afraid YouTube is not a long-term thing if I were to decide to move on. Next would be the Editors Guild, which might not even work. I have to have 175 days of work that qualify under their requirements. Because it's not like I lack in hours edited, it just may not be what they want. And when it comes to internet video qualifications, the best I could find is eligibility of subscription video on-demand experience can vary. Even then, I would have to have $3,000 to drop for membership fees, so yeah. But I don't want this to be just a video of, look at this problem, isn't it a shitty thing? Well, now you know, okay, bye. That isn't productive. There is no major solution, but there are places where we can start. Creators, credit your team when it's appropriate. Credits are our worth at the end of the day. The more credits we have, the more we can do in the future. Plus, we want to feel like we exist and are a part of the voice of the channel. Audience, help myself and the rest of us crew members by sharing this video and helping people understand there are more people working behind a video than you think. And I know that sounds selfish, but people need to see that there are hundreds of people working to make the content that they watch every day. Remember that each video on YouTube could have 2 to 10 people working on it. And thank the teams for their hard work. We love seeing comments about how much you like certain parts of a video that we're proud of. Advertisers, please think hard before you pull your ads. YouTube is constantly trying to patch up loopholes for offensive content. Trust me, if there's one thing I can say about YouTube is that there is some attempt being made to stop this. Please be patient for them for the creator's sake, for the employee's sake. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then work directly with us more. We have millions of people a day watching our work. If you want good PR, show that you stand by quality creators. I know Matt Pat is still looking for that coveted Diet Coke sponsorship. YouTube, oh dear sweet YouTube, have a little faith in the creators and their teams. That we're not always going to do stupid controversial stuff. That the people that do that are in the minority. That there are hundreds of thousands of quality videos out there. We're worth a lot more than you think, and it hurts when most of the premium content is now going to mainstream celebrities. If you want a strong platform and better rates on ads, invest smartly in the quality you want to see. Not just who has the biggest sub count or is uploading the most. And for God's sake, talk to us about algorithm changes more openly and clearly. Sure, we can dive into engineering docs and other technical pieces to learn about it, but not all of us are as savvy with coding. We don't need to know exactly what you're changing, but give us a chance to better prepare. When a competitive game gets a patch, we're aware of the changes so we can adjust how we play. We need something more like that. This isn't a game to us, YouTube. This is our livelihoods that you're not taking seriously. Small changes you can make can have major repercussions to the creators and their teams. And the sooner that you realize that, the sooner we can help you make the platform you always wanted. As I wrap up this video, my biggest worry is that this video doesn't make a difference. That this just falls flat on its face and we just move on to the next issue. I hope that at the very least you glean some insight to us that sit behind the scenes to bring you the next Game Theory or Death Battle or DeFranco show, Shane Dawson conspiracy video, or hell, even a Jake Paul vlog. We're working insanely hard to make sure that you guys have videos to watch at the cost of only a 5 to 30 second ad. And if you enjoy that content and want to help support us creators and employees alike, you've got to keep the conversation going. Keep talking about how creators and their employees are undervalued. Hold YouTube accountable for when they mess with sub boxes or change the algorithm in a way that buries your favorite creator. And support the hell out of the videos you want to see represent this site. Show YouTube that quality is better than quantity with your view. That's it for now. I know this video was very rambly. I tried to keep it as simple as possible, but it is a lot to talk about. Next week, we'll be back to talking about games and yelling at talking skulls. Most importantly, thank you for listening. Please share this video. This is a side of the site that people need to know about, because the creators you see here aren't working alone. There are hundreds of hardworking crew members creating some of the best entertainment out there. And until next time, Cybert out.